Hello everyone, today I want to talk to you about the 5 fundamentals of moving abroad, and they are as follows. First and foremost, you need to have an online income. You need to have an established business model that's tried and true, that has been tried for over a decade. Make sure that you know what you're getting into and what you're doing. When I left the US in 2019, I had already had my business for a whole decade. I started academic composition in 2009, and by 2019 I already had a whole decade's worth of experience under my belt. So when you move abroad, you better know what you're doing, you better know how you're going to make money, and you better make sure that it is a location independent matter. You don't just want to be in a situation where you start with some drop shipping business on Amazon and you barely know the industry, and now you need a plan B and you have no idea how to make a living. Oh, that's a terrible situation to be in. You need to be a seasoned remote worker. And if you have a job as opposed to a business, well, you better make sure that your job security is strong or that you can find another job. But my personal recommendation is that you need to have an online business, and you need to make sure it's stable, that it's not going to go underwater in the next few years, or let alone a few months. Secondly, what you need to know about is rent. How are you going to rent an apartment? Are you going to use the Airbnb? You can rent an apartment with Airbnb for 30 days and get a discount, or maybe you can find a local landlord. You need to have that figured out. You need to know how you're going to put a roof over your head. Thirdly, of course, is the cost of living. If you take your online job elsewhere, how is your dollar or your euro or whatever currency you're paid in going to do in a foreign country? For instance, when I came to Mexico, $1 was at about $19 pesos and 50 cents. Now the Mexican peso is much tougher. It's a strong currency. It has done very well against the dollar in ways that other currencies have not. So you need to know what it's going to cost you, and generally you want to move to a country that's cheaper, where your purchasing power is going to be higher than it is in your country. The next thing is safety. Look up websites. Look up the safety numbers on Statista, Numbeo, Expatistan.com, and so on and so on. You can also do that for the cost of living. These are the top 2 things that I look up all the time: safety and the cost of living. You need to know what you're doing, and you need to have a pretty clear idea as to what kinds of crimes are common. Is there assault? Is it armed robbery? Is it burglary? Well, what do you need to watch out for? Keep up with the experiences of other expats and local people. Preferably join some kind of a community of foreigners who live in the country where you want to go. Make sure you have boots on the ground and people who can guide you through this difficult and an uncertain time. And lastly, you will need the local connections. Do you speak the language? Do you know how things work? Do you know how to get health insurance? Do you need it? Will you need a car? Can you use Uber? Is there somebody who can help you figure out the basics of what it takes to live there? So that means that you need to join a community of expats or participate in the community of locals who live there. That you need to have somebody on the ground waiting for you before you move abroad. If you don't do that, you're going to be in the world of hurt. So these 5 fundamentals, keep them in mind, and do not forget. If you miss any one of these, your situation can turn unpleasant real fast. Thanks so much, and I will be updating you again very shortly. Bye-bye.